Hey there, campers. Welcome to Camp Video Games. This is a podcast covering video games and their multimedia adaptations. And we are wrist deep
Real.
in The Legend of Zelda
We're
Ocarina of
neck
Time.
deep at this point.
I'm Junior Camp Counselor Sean, and it's Junior Camp Counselor Josh.
Hey, campers. Look, just because a man tells you that if you wear his magic tunic and then put on heavy boots and walk into a lake that you will survive and be able to breathe, it don't make it true. Don't do that. Just don't.
You'll be sleeping with the
Don't
fishes.
trust that man.
That's right.
Yeah.
We're talking the water temple today as how many times have we talked about this so far? We're like 6 episodes in.
Yeah.
Maybe?
I don't know.
I think that's about right because
Why
we've done
not?
pretty much one conversation for every major temple.
I keep telling myself every time we're going to like knock out a few more than one, but no, it's
That's okay. If you're new here, please be welcomed into listening to our wide catalog of
Yeah.
episodes. We cover a lot of Zelda stuff and Final Fantasy and Mega Man.
or at least go back to the beginning of this game. It's
The-
weird to
yes.
jump in the middle, but
Yes, it is weird, but you're welcome here, and be sure to like and subscribe.
yeah, do that stuff. Subscribe. I'm gonna start saying this at the beginning. Subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts.
That's right.
There was a period of like a year and a half. We were only putting this on YouTube, and I finally got them all updated on the regular podcast feeds. Wherever you do that, go subscribe. Okay,
Love
anyway,
you,
let's
buddy.
talk
Thank
about
you for
Zelda
doing
stuff.
that. That's right. So today we're helping the Zora people out, and sometimes that Zora, she looks right into your eyes. You know, the thing about a Zora is she's got lifeless eyes, black eyes, like a doll's eyes.
Are you quoting Moby Dick?
No, it's from Jaws.
It would go either way. I mean, it's
Yeah.
basically the same idea. It's like that sounds like a Moby Dick line.
No, that'd be like, I stab at you, Jabu Jabu, with all my hate and fury.
But with the amount of whaling talk in that, I wouldn't be surprised if there's an entire chapter about the black doll-like eyes of the whale.
No, the whale has human eyes.
I guess that's true.
They are like a gentle, beautiful creature that is more closely related to the human than it is to the fish.
Yeah, but we left off at the portion of the game where you free the Zora. So we already talked about all that in the previous episode.
That's right.
If you're just really excited to talk about that ice cavern, go back to
Go
that
back to the
episode.
previous episode. That's right. So quick up to speeder. Ganondorf froze Zora's domain, which is a water-based village that doesn't do so well when everything's a solid instead of a liquid. And the only survivors that you see are frozen behind that red ice that never
Yeah.
comes into play again. Not
Nope.
once, doesn't matter.
No explanation
It's
for
such a
it.
big deal about it for one little segment, and then it's like, what?
Yeah.
No, don't worry about it.
But we got the blue tunic and the iron boots, the combo that you need to enter the water temple. And you go to Lake Hylia, and you just kind of wander in. When did they give you the song to get there? I remember when you.
It's when Sheik when you get the iron boots, is that like Sheik meets you in the ice cavern, I believe, teach you the song.
Oh. 'Cause I remember. Oh, never mind. I'm thinking of the end of this temple. Never mind.
Yeah.
I'm fast forwarding to something else.
That's
yes,
okay.
Sean's correct. So we do that, and then we can warp here and just dive right in.
That's right.
And go into historically. Everyone who's ever played a video game has been like, "Did you know this is the hardest like puzzle dungeon in video game history?" Well, it's not. First and foremost.
No, the water temple is I think what really hangs people up is that there's just a couple of like sneaky hidey holes that are very easy to miss if you're not
Mhm.
paying attention, but they're revealed in cutscene. That it's the one that I'm thinking of specifically that in my most recent playthrough kind of hung me up. What in the central pillar of the water temple, at the bottom level when you first raise the water,
Mhm.
it's like there's a block that floats, and
Yep.
when that block floats up, it reveals a hidden passage underneath it. That's the one that I was like, I was like doing laps around this
So you
freaking
didn't
temple.
go through that passage this
The
time. Like you missed that
I
passage
missed that
initially.
passage,
So
but
this is
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I will admit, so I'm playing the 3DS version, and there's a lot of little quality of life changes they made specifically to this temple, that I haven't gone back and reviewed the N64 original. I've just like noticed these things. I'm like, I'm pretty sure it didn't do that when I was a kid. Because
You're talking about like the glowing like wall area. They give you
well,
some yellow tape essentially in
yes,
this.
they do some yellow paint that like when you are in a place where you can get to one of there's walls where you can play your ocarina and raise or lower the water.
Right.
Whenever you're in a position where you can reach one, there's a neon glowing quote unquote yellow paint to guide you there. The other thing that your story here is reminding me of is I think there's a few moments where they edit cutscenes just a little bit to help point you where to go.
They linger maybe on those little
So in
areas.
that particular area, I thought we'd get to it later, but since you brought it up, I'm going to mention this. When you raise the water in that room and it does the do 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 or whatever, um, the camera like zooms into that hole
Nice.
to tell you that it's there.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't think that was in the original.
From my experience, the camera angle is more. It's like it happens to show that there's a little um, passageway, but it mostly focuses on showing that the brick is
Mhm.
floating up with the water level.
Yeah. So maybe if it comes up, we always have, the footage of my playthrough running in the background. If it comes up, we'll like do the slow-mo replay for Sean and see if it looks different than what he's experienced
Yeah,
recently in
yeah,
the
yeah.
N64 version. Um, so my experience this time around, I did our favorite maze tool, which
Keep your
is
hand on the right side wall.
I basically just followed like just go through any place just as if my hand were on the wall, just follow that passage, and that got me through most of it.
Yeah.
I got to okay, so people who know this dungeon will know that essentially you have to get enough keys to get through. There's like a wing on the top floor where there's some puzzles that take you to the long shot,
Yes.
which is we've talked about in like Ocarina of Time, many other Zeldas. It's like get the item for the dungeon, and suddenly you're like, okay, I busted this wide open, and now it's easy.
Yes.
Which is mostly the case with this one. There's still a little trouble I had after that, but like, I went through and I got to that room and I was short on keys. After I was like, I think I pretty thoroughly explored this place, and that's the only moment of like true frustration that I had. I had to do some backtracking.
There's a lot of backtracking in this game.
Yeah, but
In this temple specifically.
but to get that one key, that's the only time I had like backtrack and
Yeah.
go, oh my God, what did I miss?
Besides that, everything's just like kind of moving steadily along. You're
Yeah.
making progress. You're clearing the rooms and getting the things. It's I think what really hangs people up about the water temple is the verticality
Yes.
of the temple, and I think it's just like the drudgery in the original version of having to open the pause menu and switch to your iron boots every time you want to use them, and to the point where I like started to resent using the iron boots, and I would find as many opportunities as I could to just dive and to not use the boots, because
Yeah.
there's a lot of passageways where it's just an unnecessary step to have to go between the two, and
Yeah.
it's
That's like one of the few like quality of life things about the 3DS's use of the like touch screen that they did was you can have two items that are touch only,
yeah,
which is extremely frustrating. But you can now on Y and X instead of the three C buttons, it's just Y and X are the
Yeah.
only like assignable tools. So you're down one assignable tool from a button. You're up one from touch. So you have four that can be on, but two of them have to be touch. It's very frustrating,
yeah.
but you can put the boots on just the Y or X button and just flip them on and off now.
Thank you, Nintendo.
I think I just played the part where I missed the key. So the first room where you can change the water, you float up 2 floors. and you could see. It was on the screen
The
as I was floating
bombable
up. There's a
wall.
bombable wall, and I'm pretty sure I think there's a key in there, right?
I don't ask me
I
for
don't know.
details.
I think there's a key in there that I missed. And that was the thing that frustrated me. Because other than that, I was like, once through, I think I got it all. And then I
Yeah.
was like, I am one goddamn key short
That's-
and lost my mind.
It's bad
Because
news.
I was literally like, I was streaming the game, and like I just got to that point where I was like, oh my gosh, I have to do all this backtracking. And I was just like, I'm sorry, I got to turn this off and do it on my own because I got to pull out the player's guide and like sift through this for like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And it, yeah. So there's a chunk of it. I don't know if I still recorded it, but like some of it I did on my own. I was like, nope, I don't want anybody bother me. I'm a little too high right now. I'm too frustrated. I got to do this offline.
I'm happy to report that I beat the water temple in one sitting last night.
Nice.
Before we did this, just because I wanted to refresh. And yeah, this is my second playthrough of this game for this series that we're doing. So I'm really trying to be thorough, but it doesn't mean I remember things.
Right,
it just means I'm more exposed to them.
Yeah.
Okay, so when Link enters the water temple, he sees his fiance, Ruto. She's filled in quite a bit. I don't know what I'm into now. I guess I'm a fish guy.
I'm more of a Mifa guy.
Oh yeah. Well, you know,
she's a little more fleshed out, character wise. This Ruto she kind of gets on my nerves a little bit. She's a little too pushy.
That's like she's a princess. She's entitled. She's never heard the word no.
I mean, Mifa basically is too, and she's nice to me.
Yeah, that's true.
But
maybe it's because Mifa has a sibling. Like, you know, like maybe it's that simple. Is that Ruto seems to be an only child, and Mifa is an older sister.
Yeah, I mean,
what's her brother's name? I can't remember.
Sidon.
Sidon, yeah,
that's my boy. Yes, my wife just played the expansion pack,
Champions
Ballad, the Zora section, and the cutscene you get when you finish the Zora section is very cute. Because Sidon's like a baby, and she's teaching him how to swim up the waterfall.
That is very sweet. Hey, campers, we've got a full series on the Breath of the Wild.
We've probably already had this conversation 3 years ago.
It's great, but be sure to check in that one because we've done quite a bit of Zelda talk in our 3-year history here at Camp Video Games.
I enjoy it quite a bit. Yeah, I just honestly most of the characterization throughout Ocarina of Time doesn't do much for me. I think Darunia is probably my favorite.
He's so affable.
Yeah. They sort of dialed in the Gorons early on.
Yeah.
But the Zoras don't I don't know, they don't have a personality that stands out. It feels very like affable to me.
I agree with you completely. I especially with liking Darunia. That's the right move. And you know why I like Darunia is because when Link first meets him as a kid, he's in a really bad mood.
Yeah.
And then he just needs to hear some
jams,
some forest vibes,
forest tunes.
And then he's like, and then he's just Mr. Nice Guy.
Yeah. In the portion of this game, which is a dating sim, I choose Darunia.
Oh yes. Yes. You ride the cable car with Darunia.
Yes, please.
At the Gold Saucer.
I want that equivalent of the Barrett date.
Oh, so good. Man, I would literally date Barrett. He's such a good father.
Like, you haven't even played Remake. He's even they like fix all the weirdness about him.
What's weird about Barrett?
And make him
he's got a gun arm?
He swears too much, and they play some little tropey things about in the original, but anyways.
Okay, so Link reconnects with Ruto, and that's the last you see of her.
I found that quite strange. She just is like, I'm going to guide you through the temple pretty much, and then swims away and you never see her again.
I thought when I first played this game, I thought this was going to be a reflective of Jabu Jabu, where she's your companion / burden the entire temple.
Yeah, it'd be nice if they made it so she was a helpful companion this time.
If she was like, hey, don't forget that there's a key behind that bombable wall that we just swam by.
They could have like shown some growth in her by like being like, oh no, she's actually helpful, instead of just yelling at you to carry her around.
Yeah. No, I'm pretty sure like she dies like immediately after swimming up.
I guess.
Where did she go? It doesn't tell you.
Yeah.
But all that, okay, we'll get to it. Okay, so the water temple. It's just a bunch of hidey holes, a bunch of switches and levers, and don't let the Tektite knock you off this pillar of water. There's a lot of like annoying parts to this level, but overall, I found it to be a very fun, cohesive experience. I don't see it as like this daunting, horrible place anymore because I've normalized it, I guess.
Yeah.
But it's really just like it's what I liked about the shrines in Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom is that it's just like it is a little a, a, a brain teaser. It's
Yeah.
just like I'm playing like 30 Sudokus at once.
And I think that's maybe, I was thinking that right before you said 30 Sudokus at once. Like, that's maybe where people get frustrated with it, is that comparatively, Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom shrine style is like, here's a little bite sized thing.
Mhm.
And chaining 30 of them together that also have to be geographically navigated
Yeah.
in the correct order. I think, yeah, it overwhelms a certain type of player. I also like, I felt a lot of um like sort of Tomb Raider-y design in
Yeah,
this
yeah, yeah.
one.
I see that.
There was a lot of, I think especially in Tomb Raider 2, I can't remember like which one I'm remembering. It was like, honestly, most of the Tomb Raider games kind of blur together, but like there's a lot of
I've only beat Tomb Raider 1.
yeah,
That I can say for sure.
but there's a lot of puzzles in those where it's like you've got to swim down, find the little hidey hole,
Uh-huh.
and then swim through it and trust you're going to come out on the other side and that there's going to be a place you can go up into a new space.
I'm just here for the boobs in Tomb Raider.
those four triangles,
Oh,
man, they really do it
baby.
for me. But there's a lot of puzzles like that in the water temple where you gotta like go through and trust that like when I come up, the thing I'm looking for is gonna be there. That I was like, oh yeah, this feels a little like Tomb Raider, which would have come out like 2 years before this, and I'm sure they were playing it, you know?
Oh yeah, I mean you have to. Like that was like one of the first like 3D action platformer console games.
Yeah. I mean, it was the, maybe some historian can, well, actually me, but it was like the first mainstream blockbuster game of this like style of 3D space puzzle solving.
Sure. It's
That,
actually intelligent cubed.
yeah, but like Ocarina of Time, absolutely, you get a sense that like they've played that game, you know?
For sure. For sure.
Um, and-
So I mean, what do we say about the water temple? It's like you don't want to talk about every room in it, but like the things that really like stood out to me in the water temple.
I like that he says, "What do we say about it?" And he pulls out a notebook that I just see dense like pages upon
Ooh.
pages of notes.
Yeah. So this. I'm showing this from across the room. This is just a brief synopsis for The Last of Us 2.
Oh, he's
that
okay.
I was
That's a different game. Never mind.
feverishly writing by candlelight. But I mean, the standout moments in the water temple it's Dark Link. Like that's
Oh,
the
yeah.
most interesting part about this entire experience to me is that like as you've gone, you navigate the water temple. There's 3 different levels that you can raise the water to and against, and uh, it's not that like how do I say it? Like the water temple is not like thematically very interesting. It doesn't seem like a real place that like people would or
yeah.
even Zoros would use. Like it's like, what is this place?
Just
Yeah.
it feels like a little torture box to like you'd put prisoners in here just to get them lost until they
Sure.
starve and die.
At least like with like Jabu Jabu's belly, you like it's like a unique experience. There's like, oh, I'm in like a giant fish god. That's
Yeah.
kind of cool.
Like,
in this
there's-
case, you're just like, I guess this is like a temple, like a proper like religious temple for the Zora. Or was this built by the Hylians for the Zora? Like, I mean, I know that Nintendo didn't think all of this the
Yeah.
way through, but that's what we do here at Camp Video Game. We fill in the blanks with our imagining.
Except when I get annoyed and bored, and then I'm like, I don't care because they didn't care. But,
Yeah.
like, but this is like, this one is a little interesting to ponder because it's very difficult to find like what would be a practical use of a space with this many like spikes and hidden passages. Whereas like with the fire temple, you could be like, I don't know, some ancient civilization dug there something out of,
Mm-hmm.
Same with the forest temple. The forest temple feels like there's a sense of like something could have lived here. Whereas this one's like, I don't know, man.
Yeah.
It's just a bunch of corridors that make no sense as to how or why they would ever link together. I think
Link together. Sorry.
I do think like it's interesting how there is I think it's like after you do the Dark Link fight and you get the the long shot is the first time you go down and there's that like sort of serpentine um what it's not a river because it's completely submerged, that feels like a little more natural design than like carved out of stone, you know what I'm
Yeah,
talking
yeah.
about?
It's
That's like
like
on
they
the bottom
found a cave
level.
system under the lake.
Yeah, it feels like, oh, this is when you're down to like the natural system that was here before a temple was carved out of
Yeah.
it. Like that is like a tiny little bit of like environmental storytelling that I'm like, this kind of makes sense.
Sure.
The rest are like, I don't know, man.
I saw an interesting kind of theory about so Sheik, spoiler alert, is Princess Zelda.
Oh shoot.
Sorry everybody, but there's been a ongoing discussion that never gets a solid answer from the game. Is like, what did Zelda? Where was Zelda hiding
Hmm.
after Ganondorf took over?
I mean, you put her in the back room of one of these like rooms where you swim through a 50-yard corridor and
Yeah.
up and around and just have her sit there with some bread. She'll be fine.
The thing about all of the temples that we go to, they're all like like all of these different like peoples of Hyrule, they are all allied against Ganondorf's rule. And
Uh,
these temples are places that like where yes, monsters have shown up, but you never see Ganon in any of these places besides the Forest Temple, which is like now I'm back on it. But maybe Zelda and Impa were hiding in just these temples, and like that was their like safe spot
yeah.
in between the takeover and when Link wakes up, I guess.
Or like you're always like two steps behind, you know? I
Mhm.
don't know.
It's just that like Sheik knows where these places are, has something to say about all of them. It's almost like they've got intimate knowledge of these places from experience. And not only that, but they're like and I know that gameplay wise, it makes sense for them to be like, yeah, and here's a warp song, so you don't have to do all the rigmarole to get into the temple again.
Hmm.
But it also means that, like, hey, like maybe Zelda's just kind of zip zopping around
Yeah.
Hyrule.
You're like, oh, he almost found me in this temple. Let's go to this one.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So when okay, the encounter, can we get the Dark Link footage up on the screen?
It might take a second. So
Right, there's a lot of footage to scrub
this
through
is
here.
a lot. This is a long dungeon, and I don't
Well,
even know if it's on this particular video file.
one
but-
thing I really like about being underwater in Ocarina of Time is that it sometimes kind of like scrambles the audio of different things, and
Oh,
like
yeah.
Navi's voice kind of like and
Yeah.
I really enjoyed that.
There's
detail.
man, they do a good job with sort of dynamic audio, yeah, based on spatially, environmentally where you are, down to I don't know if I mentioned this that like there's areas where if you are like situated between a few walls, you'll hear it like a little bit of echo of like the sound bouncing versus like if you I noticed it in Lon Lon Ranch. Like if you're between the two buildings,
Yeah.
you will hear the way his voice reflects off the wall is a little different than if you're out in the open
Oh my
like ranch
gosh.
part.
I wonder if that's a 3DS
I don't know if it
improvement.
is or not, but I was quite impressed by it.
When you're playing, are you playing with headphones on?
Like half the time.
That's cool.
Yeah. I mostly do because I forget that like the TV has speakers. I just like start with the headphones on, and then I'm like, oh yeah, I don't have to wear these the whole time. These I don't have these are not super good headphones that I use in this space, but yeah, it's there's a lot of attention to detail, especially in the sound design in this game. But I still got to scrub around for the
That's
Dark
cool.
Link fight because I think a lot of this is me retracing every step of my path
Yes,
to find the
for
one
sure.
key that I missed
Um,
that I've
I'll say
found quite frustrating.
I'll talk on what the implications of like Link being engaged to Ruto. What that like what those like there that would mean that Link would then be the prince of the Zora if they were to really get married,
Yeah.
and that King Zora would be his father-in-law. And it's I think another parallel with like Aragorn and Arwen
Yeah.
um from the Lord of the Rings. And so Ruto, like, she because she basically got engaged to Link when giving him the Dora's sapphire, which is like their traditional engagement ring.
Hmm.
I think it's even called the Zora's engagement ring or stone. And like when she sees you after 7 years of just like ghosting her, essentially, she's just like a scorned wife. That's just
Yeah.
like, how
Where have you
dare you?
been?
Like, and like rightfully so, I guess. Like, because like
Well,
Link, she said this is for getting married, and he's like, I need the stone. It's just
he's just
like
like,
he
yes,
didn't say yes, but he
marriage.
didn't say no in terms of being like, which actually is it Eowyn who again with Aragorn. Arwen is, I think that's the elf girl. That's Liv Tyler, and then Eowyn, who's the Rohirrim, the horse riding woman. She also like secretly proposes to Aragorn
Uh-huh.
when they're like out in the field. Like she does something. I think like she like pours him a drink that in Rohan is seen as an engagement custom. That Aragorn's just like, wait, what?
Yeah.
He's like, I just wanted a beer. Like
Yeah.
it's just an interesting like what trope is that? Like the it's not a seductress because they're like not like using their like sexual wiles to get the man to
Yeah,
do what they
this
want. They're like hinging on traditions that are unspoken.
yeah, that's funny that you like refer to as a trope because it brought to mind in Metaphor Refantatio, there's a character who is treated as sort of like the quote unquote most exotic sort of race in the game.
Uh-huh.
And their trait is that they have a third eye. Like in the sort of third eye chakra, they have a
Yeah.
literal one. She's like the princess of that civilization and becomes suggested as like the canonical love interest, but not like very clearly.
Yeah.
And her weird thing that like the main character doesn't realize he's sort of engaging in a deeper relationship is literally just holding hands is like a sign
Oh.
of like yeah like romantic relationship in their culture. So the first time it happens like accidentally and she's all like super like oh my god and then like
That's so cute.
and then like at the end of her storyline, spoiler alert, like they then sincerely shake hands.
I see. Um
It's yeah, it's that same trope,
huh.
whatever that
Whatever
is.
that
We don't have a
is.
word
Campers,
for
let
it.
us know what other media, what other stories do that to the hero. It's a fun way for them to go, what?
Yeah. I'm engaged now.
What?
I gotta raise your children now.
Yeah, what's the offspring of a Hylian and a Zora look
the
like?
underhanded shotgun wedding. I don't know. It's the
Yeah,
word I just came up for.
that's fun. Yeah. You remember those really weird chicken monsters from Twilight Princess that you
Mm,
like? They're like they have like a human
yes.
face,
Yeah, those
with
weird
like a
guys.
chicken body. Maybe that's what like Link and Ruto's kid would look like.
Oh God. Those things are gross.
It's like when like it's like Miss Piggy and Kermit the Frog. Like, what do their kids look like? Oh, the
Muppet
boys
Christmas
are
Carol.
frogs and the girls are
Yeah.
pigs.
It answers that. Yeah.
That's so
It's
cute.
gendered for some reason.
Miss Piggy, Mr. Kermit. So when Link enters the chamber where he fights Dark Link, it starts as an illusion. Like this room it's made to look like this like it's like weird. I feel like it's like Jungian. Like there's like something like of the subconscious in this place that is
Yeah.
just very
It's like not real.
it's very kind of unsettling place. Like this reminds me of those like
It's infinite as
like
well.
those like creepy pasta types of Zelda things. Like that could like really start with this place as a vibe for those types of stories. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. There's a few moments I'm noticing in this game that are then have been pulled maybe not directly, but like in FromSoft games, like there's a boss in Bloodborne, there's maybe a couple bosses in Bloodborne that are like this, where you just drop into this infinite, like bizarre dream space to fight them. Similar to this.
Yeah, and like to like describe it out loud, it's just like this vacant void room that's like foggy, and there's like ankle deep water and this weird like crooked tree in the middle.
Hmm.
That's where I'm like, okay, Freud and Jung have something to say about this room. Where like
Yeah.
this is Link's like subconscious fears and anxieties of growing up, where he has to like before he can like become a full adult, he has to fight an evil version of his adult self. It's
Yeah.
almost like when you're a kid and you're like making some very important decisions on what type of adult you're going to be. Like this is Link grappling with those in a very like manifested form that is literal. Like
Yeah. Well, I was thinking even more literal, like, I don't know, is it Jung or Freud or somebody else that talks about like the shadow self? And
that's
now
young, the undiscovered shadow self. Yeah.
yeah, and now there are sort of modalities or whatever of therapy that people do, quote unquote shadow work, where like you create safe space to allow that side of your personality to like just have full voice and
Yeah.
come to the surface so that it can be like dealt with instead of just driving you crazy in the
Right. Yeah.
background.
Don't keep things bottled up, campers. You
Yeah.
really got to let those fairies out of the bottles.
Yeah, and it's like I have no idea the degree to which like Nintendo developers thought this, especially because this character is from Zelda 2.
That's right.
Even further back to what is that, 89, 90, somewhere in
Yeah,
there.
I think 89 or 88 even.
Yeah. Um I don't know how much it was just like they were like, "Oh, we just liked that fight and wanted to bring it back." You know?
Yeah. It's a really interesting, and I think like this has to have something to do with the fact that Link and like with Link and Ruto as well, where like this is Link being like, should I be a married man? Like should I marry that fish?
Every man has to do this before he gets married, or
That's
else he's
right.
not ready. You have to slay your shadow self.
I'm watching your footage and
I'm not good at it.
no, they really nerfed Shadow Link in
Oh,
this
really?
fight. Like you were just getting normal sword swipes off on him, and
Not many.
in the N64 version, he's parrying every single sword slash. I don't know if I was just like doing something wrong, but I was able to use Deku seeds or
Oh, yeah,
Deku
yeah.
nuts
No, yeah.
to stun him a little bit, but mostly I just brought 2 green potions in with me and just kept nerfing or spamming him with Din's fire, which is
Interesting. Okay.
it's not a fail proof way to hit him because he can get out of the radius of attack before you can fully do the spell. But I I like earnestly tried to just beat him like one on one with a sword. And oh, but maybe it's because I didn't have a shield and I haven't equipped a shield in my adult playthrough at all.
I
And I maybe if you can parry an attack with a shield and then go in with a sword, that might have something to do with it. I don't know.
Now that I'm reflecting again, I haven't played the original version in like 25 years. It keeps shocking me that when like as I'm playing through, like, oh, it really has been decades since
Yeah,
I've
yeah.
played this. That like I think I usually had the big Goron sword at this point, and
Cool.
that can kind of chop through him. Because when I would play this as a kid, I'd get that thing as soon as and as early as possible.
Yeah.
I think that makes it a lot easier. If anybody was watching, I was whacking away with the hammer. I don't know. And then eventually I decided like maybe you're just not supposed to use Z targeting. And that
Ooh,
seemed
maybe
like
that's
maybe I
what
was
it
able to get a few
is.
hits off.
Yeah.
Um
It's like fighting a Poe. Like you can't Z target him or they'll like disappear and make it impossible for you to hit them. Maybe
yeah.
thematically that actually kind of works too.
That seemed to like eventually work for me, I guess. And that's I don't know. That got me through one way or another.
And so that's the mini boss for the water temple, and your reward for that is the long shot. We didn't talk that much about like the hook shot
Yeah.
as an actual item.
Well, I first want to quickly say that Dark Link absolutely outshines the actual boss of this
Of course,
dungeon.
of course. So I mean, it's like one of the coolest moments in the game, in my
Yeah.
opinion. Like Shadow Link is so interesting,
Mhm.
and there's zero explanation.
Yeah.
And
And
when you usually Navi is good about giving you at least a little bit of context about the enemies that you're fighting, but in this one it's just like Link, conquer yourself. Like, oh, okay.
okay, I guess. And that the room gives way to reveal itself as just a normal room in the temple after you finish it is even more puzzling.
Yeah, it was all a dream.
Yeah. But anyway, back to the hook shot.
The hook shot. it's a harpoon gun in at its basic function, which I think is very funny that you get an even better one in a place like the fish people would have a harpoon gun.
Yeah.
Like I don't see them using it ever. Whatever. I'm not gonna try to enforce normal like civilization rules on a
Yeah. And
30-year-old
it's
video game.
the long shot, as it's called when you get this new one, is interesting because it's like you need it for a few points in the game where they've decided to make it so that you can't use the hook shot to travel there
Yep.
unless you have this. But for combat, it makes it a little harder because now it takes
Yes,
longer to
yes.
fire.
If you
And it's
miss,
longer to retract, and
yes,
yeah, you don't want to miss with this thing
yes,
because
that's
now
a
you're just out in the open as you're waiting for it to go out and repel, and things can just blast you.
excellent point. Um,
And after you get the long shot, that's where this like more natural cavernous like river water section is, where you fall to the very bottom and it has to like kind of carry you back to the main temple. That I don't know. I always found that interesting. I was like, okay, there's a little tiny bit of environmental storytelling and not just like, oh no, here's some cool designs we threw together.
yeah.
But you got to go through that. I jumped immediately in a hole, apparently. I thought the hole would warp me back, and apparently they just send you pretty far back. It's very frustrating.
I didn't go into it this time, but I'm happy to see where it brings you. Yeah, that's
They take
that's
you all
pretty
the
annoying.
they take you all the way back to where the long shot is, and the 3DS version. I don't know how much it's the emulator I'm using, but like there's some really long load times at certain points in the game
Hmm.
that I was like, oh, I don't recall 3DS games feeling like this, but maybe I don't know.
I don't know. I've never emulated a game in my life. I couldn't tell you.
Oh yeah, me either. Me either, Nintendo, Mr. Miyamoto.
That's right. I this is completely unrelated. I just talking about how like litigious Nintendo is. I'm just hearing recently about Fender guitars being like a bunch of jerks and sending cease and desist letters to pretty much any guitar manufacturer that is producing Stratocaster style guitars.
Oh, shut up.
Yeah, where it's like Fender. I don't think that you're gonna like ingratiate yourself with the community of musicians by like telling them not to like no like whatever. The Stratocaster is such an old
It's
like
just like at this point, you're just like every electric guitar is my intellectual property. Basically, it's just like
yeah,
shut up. So tired of intellectual property.
yeah, me too.
I had an idea. Now you owe me $1 billion forever.
I don't like intellectual property. I like stupid free stuff.
Yeah. Anyway, what else is left in the water temple?
Stupid amoeba boss.
Yeah, there's a stupid amoeba boss after a lot more puzzle rooms than I initially thought going on my way in. I thought like, oh, you get the long shot and it's basically over. I keep having that experience throughout this game.
That's what you'd like it to be. But
Like
then they're like, oh no.
it definitely gets easier, but like it's just a lot more just tedious rooms to get through to make your way to that boss. The one that really just drove me nuts. I want to see if you can guess as I'm looking for it.
Is it the sliding spikes that lead up to the boss door?
No, that was not bad at all. I think that took like 2 tries. There's spikes going back and forth. I don't know if you're supposed to, but I always put the boots on.
No,
They
I
give you like
definitely
more
don't do that.
traction.
Apparently,
so you move
if
slower, but you have more traction. I think if you do that way.
if you have the ice arrows at this point, you can freeze those. That's one of the few like actually useful
Oh, interesting.
uses of the ice arrow.
There's something. I think there's like a sort of path, a corridor you have to take to get the boss key after you get the long shot.
Yeah.
Maybe. And there's in that section, I believe that's where this is. There's a room where you have to push a block into just the right space to get up.
I do it wrong
And
every time.
If you do it the wrong direction,
so much drudgery.
your twink ass has to go like all the way around and just push and push and push
Yes.
for like 10 minutes. It is This was the peak Zelda taxes moment of this entire game for me.
You are nailing it so hard right now.
It's just like
That room,
literally they're just like, I'm sorry, you chose the wrong direction to push the
because
block.
you see that there's a platform
Yeah.
above where you could push the block, but it turns out you're not supposed to push the block under that platform so that you could then climb on the block and then get onto it. You're supposed to push the block onto a switch that then raises the water level.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's maddening.
It drove me nuts.
One of my favorite puzzle rooms in this is it might be leading up to the Shadow Link area where there's these like dragon pedestals
Oh,
that
yeah, that's
have
there. Yeah.
hook shot like targets for you to you know jump to. Um and there's like one little moment where it's just like you're just supposed to hit the switch that lowers the dragon pedestal, and then you're like you're supposed to do it out of order than what your first reaction would be to do it.
Yeah.
And it's just like, oh, I had to think for a second. I feel
I had the exact same
smart.
experience. It was it's that like, oh, I Mr. Miyamoto, you made me feel smart.
Yes,
I
thank
don't even know if he
you.
directed this game, but but like that's that Zelda style puzzle that we
Thank you,
love.
Alnuma.
Yeah, just enough to make you go, ah.
Yes.
Uh,
And then Link fights some wet circle monster.
Terrible boss.
Very stupid. What you know what remind here's something that I like about it is that room where you fight the boss of the water temple really reminds me of the boss fight with Vamp in Metal Gear Solid 2. And I remember first
Yeah.
playing Metal Gear Solid 2 when it came out and be like, "Oh, this reminds me of the water temple." And it made me happy. And I felt something good for once.
Yeah. I just pulled up the footage of me going up to the boss door. Looks like maybe it took me a minute to figure out to use my boots, or maybe I didn't. I don't know. I think if you use the boots, you just have better traction, but you move slower. I just footed it real
You
delicately.
did good, buddy.
Yeah. But yeah, you fight this amoeba boss. I this playthrough I had some trouble understanding like what it wanted me to do.
Yeah,
I was pretty sure I was like, I think you just hook shot it out and swing at it.
that's what I did.
And I was having a lot of trouble targeting it with the hook shot. I was like, do I just use Z targeting and just time it, or do I have to aim for it? And,
I typically try to play through Ocarina of Time using as little Z targeting as possible, just as a personal challenge to
Yeah.
myself, but not in this fight. Like I absolutely use Z targeting to get that little bugger.
Yeah. I also like that the fight opens with the first person perspective of the monster.
Yeah, super cool.
I always love when we get that. I've been thinking about like what was like the first video game cutscene to do that in a 3D rendered space like this. Because my mind goes to one of my like the earliest ones that does it extremely effectively is Xenogears has this scenario where you're like stuck in this open air prison and people are getting murdered by a monster in the sewers of the prison, and you get sent down to investigate it. It keeps cutting back to like the first person perspective of the monster like sneaking up to murder something a couple times leading up to it in a really effective way.
Cool.
That I'm like, did anybody do it earlier than that? That was I think
I'm sure
1998.
some, I mean, you haven't played every single game.
No, but that's like the earliest one where like, oh, that's a standout memory of somebody effectively using this kind of like camera trick. Because this would have been like a year or two later. But I don't know. There's some others. Maybe a Tomb Raider did it, but I don't know.
I don't know.
There's looks like I was trying to fight it underwater. I was like, I don't know. I got boots. I got a
You got
tunic.
boots?
Do I fight it underwater? Nope.
It does kind of bother me that the hook shot, like gameplay function, it's like it does kill certain enemies and like inflicts damage, but on most enemies it just stuns them. It's like
Mhm.
you're getting shot by a harpoon. Like you're not going to be like, ooh, whoops.
Ooh, I
Like,
just need a minute to get back on my feet here.
why am I blue?
Yeah. Yeah, this thing really whooped on me before I think part of my problem is I think I was trying to fight on those pillars in the water, and it's easier if you're just
Yeah,
up
just
against
stay on
the
the
wall.
outside.
The pillars tricked me into thinking they were important. So-
This boss fights the chamber that you're fighting in is also kind of a similar setup to your first fight with Ganondorf in his camp in his castle, where
Hmm.
there's like central pillars that it's like you have to go out there to fight Ganondorf, but usually you're just sticking to the sides and maneuvering around. I
Yeah,
don't know, just interesting design
and
similarity.
the layout's also similar to the Water Blight Ganon fight, where there's like um
That's right.
four pillars that the water raises, and you have to jump between them and do all that stuff. Very,
In the magical elephant kaiju.
yes, Baruta. That was the name.
Oh,
I all in my mind.
good on you.
Yeah. Anyway, you kill this stupid amoeba thing, and you
And then you
finally
say,
get out.
"Thank God I'm done with the stinking tunnel temple."
Yes. And then that's when you meet Ruto. There's a lot of Rus in the Zoras.
Yeah, Rudo.
Rudo. And you're like, you died? We don't have to get married anymore.
And Link's like, "Whew,
Dodged
dodged a bullet."
apparently, yeah. And that's basically the water temple. I
Yeah.
don't know if she says anything interesting.
After I defeated the water temple, I went back to Zoro's domain just to like check in with King Zoro.
Oh, okay.
And you don't have to, and they don't tell you to do this, but I did. And King Zoro just says, "Where's Rudo?" Oh,
Oops.
he says like Rudo went to the water temple. ... I see. And that's it.
Oh, interesting.
Where it's like it's almost like this is like where you go to die. You know how
Yeah.
like the Inuit people would like send their older like the elders in times of famine, the elders would go they'd go quote unquote hunting,
Uh-huh.
where they would then just like kind of surrender themselves to the wilderness to die so
Yeah.
that they're not a burden on their family. And sure wish some people in our society would do that.
Did you
But
ever see Midsummer?
no.
Oh,
That's the guy
man.
that did The Witch, right?
No.
No. Hereditary.
Yeah.
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 I did not see that.
Ari Aster, he's the best. The like little spoiler, it's like about these like grad students who go to this like really remote Nordic, country at midsummer where it's day all day.
Yeah.
So like it's the sort of spin is like, oh, what if a horror movie took place entirely in daylight?
Sure.
And like it's just like the vibes are off the whole time, and then like a third into the movie maybe they go to like a community ritual, and it's what they do is they like take the elders who are ready to die or supposed to die or they've reached a certain age, and they just like brutally push them off a cliff and like murder them or something in
Nice.
front of the whole community.
Yeah.
And the community's just like, this is just part of what we do.
They're like,
And
that's
all
what you
these-
get for getting old.
Yeah, and all these American grad students are like, what? And that's like where it kind of takes off from.
Cool.
Yeah. Similar thing. But Rudo, she did there. She did there. I was thinking about like, or back to King Zora, maybe he knows all this lore
Yeah.
about like the medallions
This-
and
oh, I guess
sages.
There's a sage in our family.
And yeah, so he's like, oh, well, we're the royal family. The water temple is where the sage goes to die. And
Yeah.
I guess he's helping save us from Ganon.
Yeah. And also, that means there's no heir to the throne.
That too.
Zora's
Zoras are
domain
done.
is yeah. Well,
The monarchy's no more.
the
Build
next
a
game-
democracy.
the next game we get after Ocarina of Time, they've evolved into the Rito
Oh,
in Wind Waker. That's the origin story of the Rito is that
they were
after-
Zora?
Yeah, they were Zora who then got evolved into the Rito.
All right, where's the Zelda timeline? What's
So Wind Waker takes place. It's definitely it's a direct sequel to Ocarina of Time, but I believe it's the child downfall or the childhood timeline.
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember, and I don't care enough to kind of dedicate that specific to memory. But I do know that in Wind Waker they explain that they used to be Zora, which was
Oh.
kind of funny because go ahead.
The Wind Waker is the successful adult timeline.
Sure,
Ganon
okay.
is sealed away. Hyrule is sealed. This is a very tiny copy scan of
Where are
it.
your glasses?
I don't know. I can't see nothing right now. Interesting, but I Did not know this part.
Yeah, which makes it more kind of baffling when we get to Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom, that they're coincided. Like there's just Zora and Rito living
Yeah.
side by side. But I guess you could say that maybe like that'd be like if you've got to the west you've got dinosaurs and to the east you got chickens.
Uh-huh.
You know?
I I just pulled up the footage of the end of the water temple that I love Sheik sneaking away.
Oh yes.
Um
She's being very cheeky right now.
yeah. Like, and then diving into the lake and disappearing is just like, I don't know, it just tickles me in a particularly funny way.
It's very childish where you're like,
Yeah.
what are you doing?
Cuz it's like it's not just like throw something down and disappear. It's like disappear a little, but then I'm still here and
I'm
I'm
on the
sneaking.
tree.
Yeah. It's very like cheap
Huh.
magician
I'm-
trick.
I'm just looking at the tree next to where you talk to Sheik, and that kind of resembled the tree in
The temple,
in the Darkling chamber.
and it's directly above the temple.
Yes,
Who
and that's also
knows?
where you get the fire arrows after defeating the water temple. It looks like you didn't do it,
No.
but there's a pedestal right next to where you are warped out of the temple. And if you read the placard, it's like shoot an arrow at the rising sun when the lake is full, and you'll get a gift.
Yeah.
And it's the fire arrows, and they're completely unnecessary, and they really don't have any like function besides just being a powered up arrow.
Yeah, I've completely neglected almost everything outside of the temples in
Yeah.
this playthrough. That like, I don't know. I might just do like one night I'm playing and streaming where I'm just like, let's do all the trade quests and
Yeah.
the side items and all that stuff.
I-
If we decide it's worthwhile.
I think it's worthwhile to at least get the big Goron
Yeah.
sword, because that's like there's really not that many side quests in Ocarina of Time compared to Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom, where
Yeah.
it's like all side quests.
You can just live there.
Yes.
This has become your life.
I kind of like that.
I do. There was something else I was gonna say about the Zora, but thinking about the timelines, that the Breath of the Wild thing. I think Nintendo's intention there, we've maybe discussed, is like by saying this is like 10,000 years ahead of anything, was just them like reset. We don't care about any of this timeline crap.
Absolutely.
Like, you guys stop bickering about
Yeah,
it.
yeah. Please stop emailing us.
Yeah. We are sending your emails to spam. We do not care. We've fast forwarded it and hit reset.
Which is their right.
Yeah. Because that's not the fun thing about Zelda. There's some fun to be had there. I do get it, but it's like, not that important.
Yeah. Where does the Zelda animated series fit into the timeline?
That's the most important question. And one of our friends sent me a text message of his like 5-6-year-old son watching it recently.
Really?
Yeah. I was like, oh no, it's gonna turn him into a misogynist.
Yes. Well, excuse me.
That's literally, I just texted back, excuse me, princess.
Yeah.
Do you think he's gonna say that in the movie?
He has to.
He will. Oh god.
And it might just be him like being, excuse me, princess.
Excuse me, princess.
Yeah, I've got. I'm excited to see what they do.
A very delicate needle to thread with this movie.
Yeah, it's just like, okay, I know that people have been asking for a Zelda movie, but
Yeah.
like sometimes it's better to withhold.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's like if a kid's just saying, I want candy, I want candy, I want candy, I want candy. You don't just be like, yes, here's some candy. And
You
it's-
do if there's profit motive.
Sure. Yeah.
If there's profit for you to make off of the candy, that's why these things happen. Anyway, I also visited the weird place in the bottom,
The
where
the
where guy has his
laboratory.
own lake with a shark at the bottom.
There it is.
I just wanted to see how well that shark up-resed in
Ooh.
4K here.
It looks pretty good.
That was
That was one of the
the
most
main reason
like
I stopped in there.
one of the most like I've definitely talked about this before in previous episodes, but like I am deathly afraid of dark water
Mhm.
and like things that under the water are just like inherently scary to me. And as a kid, going into that laboratory and just putting the iron boots on and getting down there, and they're like, "There's a freaking shark." It was so scary, and it's just this little JPEG.
Yeah,
it's
there's
just like
something
so
like
fuzzy.
there's something haunting about like, yeah, that fact that it's just like this still like compressed and stretched out JPEG of like kind of a shark, but
Yeah.
not really. that you're like, what's going
It's
on down there?
scarier
Why
because
isn't
it's
it
like
moving?
disambiguated.
Yeah.
Where it's just like, is that a shark? Why? And then you're like, why is there a shark? Why does this guy have a shark? He, like, yeah, it's just a baffling. Like, who is that guy? The laboratory tech guy. He's like a weird old guy. Um, but I'm not interested in his backstory.
Eh. So that's basically the water temple. That's what we came to discuss in this episode. I don't
Yeah,
know if I don't know. Should we keep going? Nah. We should just wrap it up tidy there, and we'll cover the bottom of the well and the shadow temple.
is that where we're
Next.
going next?
I believe so.
I'm
Right?
I just beat the water temple last night and I don't remember the specific order after the water temple because like forest fire water makes
One
sense.
last thing. The fishing guy.
Ugh.
He looks like that character actor that was in House of the Dead that we were talking
Clint
about.
Howard.
Clint Howard. He looks just like Clint
Yes,
Howard.
it does.
That's all.
Oh. Oh boy, that made me happy.
Yeah.
Oh, Clint Howard, the best
Look at this
ugly
weird
guy
freak.
in history.
Good stuff. Look at
You ever see Ice Cream Man?
No.
It is a Clint Howard slasher
A
movie
vehicle
where he plays a killer ice cream
where
man.
they said, we've got Clint Howard. We're going to fill seats.
Yeah, or maybe it was called Ice Scream Man. I forget, but it was a very cheesy slasher film with
Yeah.
Clint Howard as the villain. He plays a good villain.
But we already talked about the pointlessness of the fishing, which is where you find this guy.
And
So
the
no need
biggest
to reach-
incentive is a gold scale, so you can dive deeper.
Is there at least a heart piece that one of them ate or something?
I don't remember. And I
Yeah.
never did it more than like 5. I would go in and catch a couple fish and be like, wow, I really don't care.
I really need to get a life.
Yeah. You know what?
That's how you tell, like, I don't know, a good fishing game, mini game in something is like, does it hook me and make me want to keep going, or does it make me go like, oh, there's so many better things I could be doing with my time?
You know what fishing game really hooked me was Link's Awakening. That
That
is
one's
a
good.
fun fishing game.
All right, other good fishing games. Final Fantasy 15 has a surprisingly good and deep fishing mini game.
Red Dead Redemption 2.
Uh-huh.
That one's fun because you can just throw dynamite in the water and just like, and call that Kentucky fishing.
Those are the only ones that really come to mind that I'm like, no, that's good. fishing.
Subnautica. I don't know if you've ever played that, but it's a first person underwater survival game that like really freaked me out. I don't know why I'm bringing him up, but that's like one of the first like series that I really got into with Markiplier. Who's an
Interesting.
Ohio native. He's actually he does a lot of fundraising for Cincinnati hospitals.
Okay, yeah, because I only know this guy from. There's been some people talking about how like a few months ago he released his like self-budgeted movie.
Yeah, yeah, and
And
I'd be interested to see it.
One of the premieres was in Cincinnati,
Yeah.
and I didn't make that connection. Why?
You know, if you want to read an interview I had with Markiplier,
Oh, you did? That's
like
funny.
12 to 13, maybe even 15 years ago, when he was still like an up and coming
Wow.
game reviewer. I interviewed him for Soapbox Media. And
That's fascinating.
his real name's Mark Fishbach. I've got his email address. Who cares?
Let's dox him.
Everything we've disclosed is already public information. He's a great personality, and he actually helped me understand how much I actually like video games.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, people are sort of. There's been a little bit of discourse, of course, about his movie. Allegedly, it's decent.
Yeah.
And people are like, this might be the new model for like movies outside of the machine. That's
Yeah.
like, just give him another remake.
No,
you
no,
know?
no. We need more self-starters who are funding their passion projects.
It's like yes and no. Like I like that idea, but I wish more people had the money to pursue their passion projects and didn't have to do it through like grinding the YouTube algorithm for 15 years
Yeah.
first. You know,
Very good point.
I wish we could just seed some money to people who are creative without them living in that disgusting ecosystem for so long that I participate in myself, you know. But
Yeah.
like I my wife and I were just talking about like something has shifted in social media and the ability to reach people to build a platform that it's like it feels at this point like all you're doing if you want to build a quote unquote brand online, which technically we're trying to do with this show too, is like what what do I need to do? Like, what do I need to edit a video or a post down to like every little detail in a way that appeases basically the egos of like 6 or 7 like rich white billionaires
Mhm.
that they'll go, yes, this is worth showing to an audience. It's just like so miserable.
Yeah, it reminds me of like the craft beer like trend, like where it's like everybody was making IPAs
Yeah.
and like that was the only way that your brewery would get like people in the seats. And then they realized that like half the people there are just like, can I get a lager? Can I get like something that tastes like Bud Light?
Uh-huh.
And then like that, like it's just the
And now everybody's like, all the craft breweries that made it, they've reverted to like what I consider like alcohol slop, which is like the like, oh, it's like a carbonated like seltzer, or it's like a alcoholic carbonated fruity seltzer.
yeah, yeah.
It's like, oh, this isn't like even real food. This is like a super processed, like gross amalgamation of chemicals you've figured out how to put alcohol
Not
in.
all the time. A lot of the time, like when you get a hard seltzer, it's just that like I mean, fermentation is just converting sugar into
Yeah.
alcohol, and as a byproduct, you get carbon dioxide.
Mm.
And seltzer is just beer without like the fuss, where like they
Without like the bar.
instead of toasting barley
Yeah.
and oats and malt, um, you're just converting sugar. You're just taking
Yeah.
sugar water and adding yeast to it so that it then converts. And it's like in some cases it can be even like healthier than
Well, that's why
beer.
like they do it is like they can. I think they can do it
There's
with
less
like less
carbs.
sugar and carbs, but like then the flavoring part of it is like, and just inject it with some
Oh
chemicals.
yeah, no, I'm not a fan of
Yeah.
that. Like you can flavor things so many ways. I don't know. Yeah, um, my wife and I we drink like a lot of like natural wine, which is just like wine that's been like typically they don't add yeast to it. They let the natural wild yeasts that are prevalent everywhere
Mhm.
to start the fermentation process, which is more in line with like the ancient methods of alcohol production. But um when it starts to become more like a science like essay on when you're trying to
Yeah.
explain the ingredients in a drink, like stay away from those
And
things.
that's the thing is like the craft beer boom. I was like, yeah, barley, malts, sugar, water. Like it's simple. It makes sense to me. And then you get like, well, we got to flavor it for the ladies. And so let's inject it with cherry essence derived from,
Yeah.
like, nah, that's not real food anymore. And so like, I'm just like,
Yeah.
not for me. And that gives me the same flavor as, yes, all like where the direction all like social media platforms are going, where all the like video game movie remakes are going of just like,
But look, they got Jason Momoa to play uh not Balrog. What's the Blanca.
oh yeah,
He's going to be
that one might.
that one might be
Street Fighter
good.
2, the new movie, it's interesting.
We'll
It
we'll get
might
there.
be campy enough for us.
We'll
We
get
might have to
there.
revisit Street Fighter 2 in the next year or so. On that note,
Campers, be sure to hey, tell someone you know, but you're not sure if you're friends yet. Tell them about Camp Video Games.
that'll really loop in the friendship,
Yes, they'll be like, "Oh,
tighten it down.
you're into those indie darlings at Camp Video Games."
Just buried by the algorithms.
That's okay.
Which who knows? Who cares?
It keeps me warm.
We're gonna keep promoting this thing old school, just telling one person at a time.
Yeah. I tell people at the farmers market I work at sometimes like I saw this couple that they were like buying some garlic from me, and then the lady had a Chica Eye of Truth tattoo. And I was just like, "Uh-oh, we're talking."
Hey, you know about this podcast?
I was like, "Oh man," I acted
There's
like
these
I
two
wasn't.
very handsome men.
I acted like I wasn't the host of the show. I was like, "You got to check out Camp Video Games."
I was joking, but apparently
No, no,
that
no.
was the tactic.
Buzz marketing.
So good. Anyways,
Gotta check it out. These two hot twinks. They are so funny and charming.
yeah, they sure are. Anyways, we're gonna go till next time when we're gonna talk about the Shadow Temple in the bottom of the well. stuff. We got a couple more Ocarina of Times left in us before we'll move on to something else. Who knows?
That's right. Thanks, campers. As always, it's been such a pleasure spending this time with you.
Yeah, I hope you still hung out through all that beer processing talk, and we'll see you next time.
Drink beer until you can't feel feelings.
If you'd like to write to us, send a message to campvideogames@gmail.com and follow us on Instagram @campvideogames. If you want to become a real happy camper, you can support Camp Video Games on Patreon. For $5 a month, you'll be granted access to even more discussions about movie-based video games, game-based movies, full-length commentaries, playthroughs, and more. Whether you sign up or not, we're glad to have you here at Camp Video Games.